Hi everybody and welcome to the Home Engineers channel again. Today I'm going to be showing you how to block up a piece of steel square without using clocks or any other devices and just using the vise, back jaw and a set of parallels. As you can see, the piece of material has been cut from a piece of 50/50 stock, so I've got two sawn faces and the rest of it are just stock faces. So the first thing to do, as you can see I've actually touched on already to save a bit of time on the video, is place the piece of bar into the machine. It doesn't need to be hammered down. You don't need to hammer the vise handle. One swift knock with your hand is enough. Check that the cutter's not going to hit as we go round. Right, and then I've already set the dial to 0. So what I do is I just put a very small 0.3 cut on just to get us going. So here we go with the first cut. Sorry about that, the compressor's going in the background. I'll just go turn the compressor off. Sorry about that. Right, so another thing I want to point out to you here is the actual markings on the top of the material that we've just cut. We have rings in both directions, so what that is showing is the head of the machine is perfectly upright because it's cutting on both the front edge of the tool and the back edge of the tool. So I know the machine is also set up square. What I do now is I remove this, deburr it, and then I'll be back to carry on with the video. As you can see from the pattern, as I said previously, you can see the head is square. Also, that tells me the direction in which I've cut the piece of material. So we went from right to left. So what this means is this face here, this face and this face have to be square to each other because we've been up against, this face has been up against the back jaw, which is square. So that means this is square and that is square. Unfortunately, this end here and this end here will not be square. So what we can do is we can then turn the piece of material stock round and face it in the opposite direction, knowing that when we sit it on the parallels, that this bottom face is square and this face is square, and then we can then machine this face, which will then get that face square and this face square. And then what we then do for the final bit is we flip it back over again. It doesn't matter which way we then hold it, we will then know that the piece is totally square. Okay, so what do, I've already put a cut on to save a bit of time on the video. So put it in, lock it down, start the spindle, air onto it, and there we go. So what we've now done, we mark this with an X, and we mark this with a smaller X, and the other side with an X. So those faces are all now square to each other, and the ones with the eye on it are all square to each other. So I'll now go and deburr this again, and then I'll come back. Okay, so here we are back with it all deburred, ready to go back into the vise. So what we've now got is, we can see the pattern on there. We've now got to go back to the original side, which we can flip over, and you can see the lines are going in that direction, and that's the direction we're going to place it into the vise, which is the opposite way to it was previously machined. So we put that in there, give it a little bit of a push down, lock up the vise, put on another small cut of about 0.2 of a mil. This now will hopefully be square when we take it out of the vise to show you. So that face has now been machined, so that block should be square. So what I'll do is I'll just go and take it and deburr it again, and then I'll bring it back and I'll show you with this square on. Okay, so here we go then. We put the square on it now just to check all the faces are square. Hopefully you can see that that one's square. It's square in that plane. And then turn it over. Square in that plane, and then the final one, if I've got it right, it should be square, and there we go, it's square in that plane. So there you have it. That's how to square up a block without having to use a mallet to hammer it down in the vise, and you don't need any clocking. So it's a very quick and simple method in just turning the block in a certain sequence to make sure you get the faces square. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe, and thank you for tuning in to The Home Engineer. Thank you.